Hello, and welcome to Council Recap, where we take the content of the City Council meetings and give you the breakdown. I'm Kayla Moeller. There were a few presentations this week. First, we heard from Senator Stephen Bradford regarding a summary of 2021 legislative and budgetary accomplishments. He talked about public safety and criminal justice reform. Next, Ted Bardak, the executive director with Clean Power Alliance, gave an update on CPA and their rates. He talked about CPA basics and local programs, their rate history and default rate, and environmental impact. Then Dulce Medina with the Hawthorne Homeless Coordination Program gave an update on their quarterly report and talked about their street outreach engagement, emergency housing vouchers, grants and funding, and homeless count. And finally, Dawn Harris-Benton with Republic Services gave an update on Senate Bill 1383. The new requirement is part of a mandatory recycling ordinance that ensures the recycling of food and green waste materials which were previously destined for landfills. Starting January 1st, 2022, Hawthorne residents will use the green curbside cart for green waste and other organic waste, including food, food-soiled paper, and yard clippings. In the resolution portion of the meeting, Resolution 8322 was passed to replace Resolution number 5270 to amend and update the records retention policy of the Hawthorne Police Department regarding the retention and destruction of police department records. Resolution 8324 was passed to re-ratify the proclamation of a state of emergency by Governor Newsom and to reauthorize remote teleconference meetings of the City Council, commissions, and committees of the City of Hawthorne for the 30-day period beginning on December 14th, 2021. Then in the ordinances portion, Ordinance 2225 was passed to make an amendment to the Hawthorne Municipal Code to regulate mixed-use overlay zoning and to adopt a notice of exemption in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act. Next, Ordinance 2227 was passed to implement a smoking ban in enclosed common areas of multi-residential units as well as service areas, outdoor public events, and city properties. Then Ordinance 2228 had its first reading to increase the mayor and city council members' compensation from $600 a month to $1,200 a month. The change would not go into effect until 2023. Next, in the general matters portion, there was an update on the American Rescue Plan Act. Council discussed ideas for assisting Hawthorne businesses with ARPA funding, such as increasing funding for businesses to renovate storefronts. The street team will continue to make contact with businesses to conduct surveys in order to get feedback. Then Council received and filed the city's investment report for the quarter that ended on September 30th, 2021 for the fiscal year 2021 through 2022. Then Council received and filed the city's financial report for the quarter one of fiscal year 2021-2022. The city manager's consent calendar had a few items this week. First, Council approved the agreement with DRC Engineering, Inc. for topography surveying services for several projects. Council authorized the Director of Public Works to execute the agreement. Then Council approved the agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Sally Rodriguez to provide project management services for Public Works EnerGov projects. Ms. Rodriguez will have overall responsibility, oversight, and recommend action related to the project. She will serve as project manager. Next, Council approved Amendment number 1 to the agreement for homelessness coordination services with St. Margaret Center and authorized the city manager to execute the amended agreement. Next was an update on the citywide Centennial Committee. The Centennial celebration will take place from July 8th, 2022 through July 12th, 2022 with 4 events. Council voted to amend the exclusive negotiation agreement with Skid Row Housing Trust. The negotiations will continue for the sale and development of the parcel adjacent to 14115 Corderi Avenue for an 18-unit veterans rental housing project. Due to the cancellation of the December 28th council meeting, both parties recommend a second amendment to the ENA and extend the term to February 23, 2022 to provide sufficient time to finalize the DDLA. Then Council approved the plans and specifications of the Sewer Improvement Project 2022 and authorized the Director of Public Works to advertise for construction bids, with a return date of February 8, 2022. The project includes performing closed-circuit video inspections of sewer pipes and reinforcing existing pipes with lining and excavation. Council also approved a 3-year Microsoft Enterprise Agreement to Dell Systems. The agreement is a renewal via Dell Technologies to cover software licenses for continued use. In the City Attorney's consent calendar, Council approved an agreement regarding consultant costs between the City of Hawthorne and Paycan Corporation. Paycan Corporation developed several hotels in the city and has expressed intentions to develop 3 additional hotels. City staff and Paycan came to an understanding that Paycan will be responsible for the cost of the consultant and submitted a deposit. Then Council voted to participate in the National Opioid Settlement, which will result in the receipt of funding for services to prevent, remediate, and abate opioid addiction. The final allocation of funds can be analyzed in detail once it's determined how much money the city will receive from the settlement. And finally, one claim was approved. In the discussion action items, Councilmember Angie Reyes English introduced adding testing of cannabis products to ensure safety in regards to the cannabis program. She also introduced adding lounge licensing for the cannabis program. Council voted to authorize the consultant firm to look into both of the testing of products and adding a lounge license. Well, that's it for the meeting this week. Thank you for joining us for Council Recap. Remember, you can always watch City Council meetings in their entirety by going to www.youtube.com and searching for Hawthorne Community Television. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you in the new year.